Hi class, I wanted to go over the instructions of the recommendation report. So basically what a recommendation report is, it makes a recommendation based on research findings and criteria. So when you're thinking of topics, you want to think of a topic that either solves a problem or an issue that is going on in a business place, or just something that you feel is an opportunity that could improve on the current situation and could increase revenue or something like that. So basically what you are looking at is you are looking at a problem that you can find two solutions that you can research and that you can find criteria to compare and contrast those two options, and then you can make your final recommendation based on your analysis of the research and criteria. The recommendation reports are very common in the business world. A lot of times you might be tasked with writing a recommendation report. Your boss or your company might ask you to research two different options, and you have to do extensive research. Sometimes this research might take months. Sometimes you might have to travel. You might have to visit different places to compile your research, write it down, come up with criteria, and then you make your final recommendation. Sometimes you have to present these findings and your recommendations. Sometimes you don't. But basically, a lot of businesses do employ this, and obviously, in that case, the whole business is depending on you, or the whole company is depending on you. Their decision is based on what you find. So they are very important, and for this assignment, you can pretend that you're working for a business. So some topics that you might use, like I said, might have to do with comparing and contrasting different type of equipment, different types of computers, printers, even if you're pretending that you own a restaurant, it could even be something like kitchen equipment, like refrigerators or mixing machines, anything like that. You can also compare and contrast software if you pretend that you work for a business that they need specialized software. Also, you can compare and contrast processes. So, like, let's say you work for a clinic and and you think the way that you sign in patients is not quick enough, you might want to compare the current way with a new proposed process and try to figure out which one would be the most effective. So, you can also compare and contrast processes to improve, again, serving customers, to improve time, deadlines, things like that. And the last thing is there might not even be an issue, but you might just want to go ahead and compare and contrast different ways of improving or looking at an opportunity to improve a situation. For example, maybe you want to compare, you know, a business, if you start offering this product, maybe that'll increase revenue, right? So maybe you want to pretend that you work at a salon and you only do hair, but you want to compare and contrast if you add nail work or nails, will that increase your revenue, or will you just end up spending more money and lose money or break even? So again, it could be something like that where you see an opportunity and you want to go ahead and compare and contrast if that opportunity will raise your revenue or anything like that. So think about a topic that is feasible and also realistic and something that you can research, because at the end of the day, this is not just a compare and contrast report. At the end of the day, you are researching these topics or these two options to make a recommendation. So the first thing that you need is an abstract. Now, if you look at the recommendation report module, I do have a link that shows you it gives you more information on abstracts. So basically, it gives you steps on how to write an abstract. And in a nutshell, the abstract is basically a summary of your report. A lot of times people don't have time to read your full report, so they want to look at the abstract first just to see what kind of information it contains. If the information is what they are looking for, then they can go ahead and read the recommendation report. In the business world, a lot of it has to do with time, where people don't have time, so that's why the abstract lets them know, you know, this is what the report is about. In case you want to read it, here you go. So basically, your abstract should summarize the report, and it should contain your main point, as well as some of the methods and procedures that you used. You can also summarize your findings. You don't necessarily have to tell us what your recommendation is. You can, you know, you can basically wait until people read that. It's something that, hey, if you want to know what my recommendation is, you have to read the report. So you don't have to write your recommendation. However, you can hint at it in the summary. So basically what you're doing is you are writing an informational abstract, though you do want to tell us your methods, your scope. So it's kind of a combination of both informational and descriptive abstract that you're writing. Now, one of the things you want to remember is the abstract is about it's a short paragraph. So it shouldn't be too long. And the abstract should be the first thing that people read, so it should be its own page. If you look at chapter 13 offers some great information on writing recommendation reports. It guides you step by step, and that chapter also has table of contents and executive summaries. Some recommendation reports do require that, but we are not doing that for this assignment. So for this assignment, all you need is an abstract. Now, once we get to the other sections, these other sections, starting from the introduction to the recommendation, will basically be the content of your report, right? So after the abstract, remember, the abstract should be on its own page. You have your introduction. Now, in the introduction, what you want to do is you want to state the purpose or the thesis. You also want to provide background information. So you want to tell us what the issue is. You want to tell us a little bit about the business. How big is it? How many employees? What's the budget like? Now, obviously, a lot of this information you're going to have to make up because you are making up a business. However, if you're pretending that you're working for Walmart, or you're working for Doñana Community College, or you're working for Microsoft, obviously you can go ahead and research these companies to provide background information. You also want to tell us the scope of the report. It's very important that you tell us, I'm only focusing on the printers for the computer labs at DACC. And the reason for that is because you don't want your audience to think, oh, this person is recommending that we buy those printers for every single person at DACC or every single office that prints. You want to make it clear that you're only focusing on this department or on this specific area. So that's why you want to go ahead and provide a scope. The other thing you want to do is you want to define key terms. So if there's anything that you feel is specialized language or jargon and you feel your audience might not be familiar with, you want to go ahead and define that there. Specifically if it has to do with like the machinery or anything like that. And also you want to establish your audience. So is this report directed to the president of the college? Is this report directed to the shareholders? Is it directed to your employees? The introduction should really make that clear. Now here I went ahead and I wrote down a sample thesis. So a sample thesis is to improve the quality, efficiency, and speed of printing at DCC Computer Labs. I will compare and contrast two top-rated yet affordable printers and recommend the one best suited for the college's needs. So basically what I am doing here is I am including the things we need to improve, which are quality, efficiency, and speed. And I am also I'm also including what my criteria is. My criteria is that it should be top rated, yet affordable. We want a good printer, but we also want a printer that's affordable. Now, one of the things that you want to do is you also want to establish your criteria. I actually have in the module, I took a picture of the problem-solving model that appears in your textbook. So if you keep clicking on the module, you will find the picture. Now basically what this tells you is to first come up with a problem and then establish the criteria. So one of the things that you want to do is you want to think about, okay, what exactly do we need to solve this problem? Now you can go ahead and discuss your criteria in the introduction, or you can go ahead and discuss it in the methods, right? Now, if we look at the methods section, let me go back to the assignment page. If we look at the method section, this asks you, what did you do? So you want to go ahead and tell us everything you did to come up with your decision, right? So you're going to tell us what you researched. Now, you don't want to just tell us, I researched books or I researched information. You want to be specific. So for example, if I'm comparing and contrasting two different printers, I want to first look at reviews. I might want to interview the computer lab manager. I also need to find out the amount of printing that is done. That is very important because we need to know, can these printers handle that type of printing? Also, I need to compare the prices. That's very important to me. I also need to research the printer's features. For example, I need to research the toner. I also need to research the cartridges that come with it. I might also need to look at the prices of these things. Now, again, it's very important that you remember that this is just an example. Obviously, your report is going to be written in full paragraphs for the introduction, the results, and the recommendation. So just keep in mind that this is an example. So after the methods, we have the results. Now, in the results section, you want to tell us, what did you find? So basically here, that is the question that we are answering. You do not have to tell us what this means yet. You just have to tell us what you found. Now, in the conclusion section, this is another header, another section of your report. This is where you tell us what this all means. So here is where you analyze your findings. Here is where you tell us what the different reviews said or what it means, what you learned from interviewing the manager. Here is where you tell us what everything means. And then in the final section, which is a recommendation report, which is a recommendation section, you tell us your final decision. So it's very important that you tell us your final decision and why. So you want to tell us, after extensive research and extensive comparing of prices and features, I recommend the HP 100 because it's affordable, it's efficient, and it meets all of our needs at the DACC Computer Labs. So you don't actually tell us your final solution or decision until the very end. And probably the longest sections are going to be the introduction, the methods, and the results. The conclusion should also be kind of long because you're analyzing what it all means. The recommendation, believe it or not, is actually the shortest section because it's just one short paragraph where you tell us your final decision and why. So again, keep in mind that you do want to use headers like I am using here, but obviously your report is going to be more extensive and detailed because you would have done all the research. And like I mentioned earlier, the introduction can be multiple paragraphs, and I recommend that you establish the criteria in the introduction just so that we know what you are looking for in a printer. You know, it's important to establish the criteria early on. So after your recommendation, you should have your reference page and you should go ahead and cite your sources in APA. Remember that there is an APA module in case you need to brush up on your APA style. Now, one of the other things I do want to mention is that there is a rubric, so you can go ahead and see, you know, how this will be graded. Now, something else that I didn't mention is that you should have some sort of illustration in your recommendation report. So it could be a picture of the printer, it could be a table where you list the information that you compared and contrast, but you do need some sort of illustration. And again, I recommend that you look at chapter 13 because that is very, very helpful. So please let me know if you have any questions. I will be glad to answer them. And good luck on your recommendation report.